Live from New Delhi, you're watching TT India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Lipakshi Khurana, coming up in the next 30 minutes. India to host 4th edition of Semicon conference today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate the 3-day flagship semiconductor event in New Delhi. Rescue efforts intensify after over 800 people killed in quake-hit Afghanistan. Humanitarian aid pouring in. India first to respond. Venezuelan President Maduro warns the US over naval build-up in the southern Caribbean and nearby waters, says will never bow to threats. Serbia protest hit 10-month mark and still continues demanding snap elections to commemorate the deaths when a roof on a renovated railway station collapsed in November. And Team India secures a dominant win, 15-0 win over Kazakhstan in Men's Hockey Asia Cup, finished the league stage at the top of the points table in Pool A. And on to the details now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 4th edition of Semicon India 2025 on September 2nd at Yashobhoomi, New Delhi. The flagship event reinforces India's ambition to emerge as a global semiconductor hub. TT India's Tapas Bhattacharya reports for more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the 4th edition of the Semicon India 2025 on September 2nd at Yashobhoomi, Delhi. The flagship event reaffirms India's ambition to become a global semiconductor powerhouse. Semicon India 2025 will bring together top global leaders, industry experts, academia, government officials and students under the theme Building the Next Semiconductor Powerhouse.
We understand that more than 350 companies are taking part, and there are going to be extensive displays. The entire hall has been occupied. In fact, they've had to turn away some of the possible participants in the expo. And in addition, I think there has been significant enthusiasm for the various sessions which are being held alongside in the event.
India's semiconductor journey has gained momentum under the Semicon India program. So far, the government has approved 10 key projects, including fabrication units, 3D packaging, compound semiconductors, and assembly facilities. These initiatives are strengthening India's position in the global value chain.
It's a matter of pride that this year the first semiconductor chips commercially built in the country are to be rolled out.
To promote innovation, over 280 institutes and 72 startups now have access to advanced chip design tools. 23 startups have been approved under the Design-Linked Incentive Scheme, working on chips for CCTV, navigation system, communication, motor controllers and microprocessors. With the 4th edition of the Semicon India, the country is taking strong step of becoming self-reliant and moving closer of becoming a global semiconductor hub. With campus and Monty, this is Prasar Bharati for TT India from Delhi.
Well, India is making bold moves to become a global hub for semiconductors with government support, new chip fabs and growing international interest. At Semicon India, New Delhi, some of the world's leading technology players, including Dutch giant ASML, are taking notice. Our correspondent Mark Limburg has more from the Netherlands.
India is on its way to becoming a true global powerhouse in semiconductors. With massive government support, new factories under construction and international attention growing every day, the country is positioning itself at the very heart of the global chip industry. At Semicon India, India's premier semiconductor conference in New Delhi, leading companies from around the world, like Dutch technology giant ASML, have come to witness this rise and explore how they can be part of India's semiconductor story. India's ambitions are drawing attention worldwide. Market research shows that India's semiconductor sector could reach $55 billion by 2026, fueled by demand for smartphones, cars and data centers. As ASML told us, India is positioning itself as a strategic market in the global chip ecosystem. For India, having ASML here matters. The Dutch company is the only one in the world that makes the extreme ultraviolet lithography machines needed to build the most advanced microchips. These are the chips that drive artificial intelligence, electric mobility and the digital economy. ASML explains, together with our partners, we drive the advancement of more affordable, more powerful, more energy efficient microchips. That is why Semicon India 2025 is such an important platform. For ASML, this first appearance is about connecting with India's ecosystem and looking at long-term opportunities. As the company put it, Semicon India is the perfect platform to connect, collaborate and explore how to contribute to India's exciting growth. As India's semiconductor ambitions continue to take shape, the strong presence of international players like ASML underlines the world's confidence in India's future. From New Delhi to the global stage, India is no longer just participating in the chip race, it is setting the pace. Mark Limburg reporting from the Netherlands for DD India.
Well, with an aim to strengthen entrepreneurship development among rural women and accelerate the growth of community-led enterprises, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch Bihar Rajya Jivika Nidhi Sahakari Sangh Limited at 12:30 p.m. IST via video conferencing. On the occasion, Prime Minister will also transfer 105 crore rupees into the institution's bank account. Well, the objective of establishing the Jivika Nidhi is to provide easy access to funds at affordable interest rates to community members associated with Jivika. Entrepreneurship has flourished among women associated with Jivika's self-help groups over the years, leading to the establishment of numerous small enterprises and producer companies in rural areas. However, women entrepreneurs have often been compelled to depend on microfinance institutions, charging high interest rates of 18% to 24%. The system will operate entirely on a digital platform, ensuring faster and more transparent fund transfers directly into the bank accounts of Jivika Didis. To facilitate this, 12,000 community cadres are being equipped with tablets. Around 20 lakh women from across the state of Bihar will witness this event. And Singapore's Prime Minister Lawrence Wong will be on a 3-day visit to India from today, with a slew of MOUs slated to be signed between the two countries during his visit. According to sources, MOUs are expected to focus on skill development, finance and digital revolution, civil aviation, space collaboration and shipping. During the visit, the Singaporean Prime Minister will have a bilateral meeting with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi. Lawrence Wong's visit to India follows Prime Minister Modi's visit to Singapore last year in September 2024, during which the two leaders reviewed and expressed satisfaction with the progress in the bilateral relationship. And German Foreign Minister Johann Wadephul arrived in India's IT capital, Bengaluru, this morning. During his 2-day visit, he will meet with both political and business leaders to explore further avenues for bilateral cooperation. In Bengaluru, he will visit the Indian Space Research Organization before leaving for Delhi later in the day. On Wednesday, FM Wadephul is expected to meet Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal, followed by a meeting with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar in New Delhi. Germany is one of India's most valued partners in Europe. The two countries share a strong strategic partnership which has grown steadily over the decades since the establishment of diplomatic relations in 1951. In March 2021, both sides marked 70 years of diplomatic ties. And an Indian Army contingent has reached Fort Wainwright in US Alaska for the 21st edition of Youth Abhyas 2025. The annual India-US joint military drill running from September 1st to 14th alongside US 11th Airborne Division troops. Troops will train in heli-borne operations, mountain warfare, unmanned aircraft system and counter-UAS and joint tactical drills and multi-domain readiness. Well, the Defence Ministry added the drill will conclude with joint tactical maneuvers, including live fire exercises and high-altitude warfare scenarios aimed at enhancing UN peacekeeping capabilities and multi-domain readiness. Well, the Indian Met Department has forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall at isolated places over Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand today. Also, a red alert has been issued for Himachal and Uttarakhand, while orange alert has been issued for Delhi, Chandigarh, Haryana, East Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Punjab, West Bengal and Odisha. Continuous heavy rains over the past 2 days have triggered landslides and house collapses in several parts of the two hill states. Also, in view of the rising water levels, the administration has urged people living near riverbanks to exercise caution. Meanwhile, efforts are ongoing to clear roads blocked by rain and landslides in the hilly areas of the state. In light of the warning, Uttarakhand Chief Minister has directed district-level officials to remain extra vigilant and stay on 24/7 alert. While Jammu and Kashmir also remains in the grip of incessant rain causing landslides in hilly areas, all schools in the Jammu division of J&K will remain shut on the 2nd of September in the wake of the adverse weather advisory on Monday. The Met Department has forecast generally cloudy weather on September 2nd and 3rd with 1 or 2 spells of light to moderate rain, thunder at many places with a possibility of heavy to very heavy rains over Kathua, Jammu, Udhampur and Riyasi and moderate to very heavy rainfall in Doda, Ramban, Rajouri, Poonch, Kishtwar, Samba, Anantnag and Kulgam. The Jammu-Srinagar highway was again closed for traffic. Well, the North Indian state of Punjab is in the grip of flood fury that has claimed 21 lives and 3 persons are missing since August 1st till date. The floods have affected more than 94,000 hectares of crop area in the state. Prime Minister Modi has spoken to Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann and assured all help in dealing with the flood situation. And now let's take a look at other stories making news today. 9 active Naxals, including zonal and sub-zonal commanders, surrendered to security forces in Latehar, marking a major blow to the Jharkhand Jan Mukti Parishad outfit. The CRPF confirmed the surrender, stating that 5 of those who gave up were carrying cash rewards. Authorities recovered 12 firearms, including 5 AK rifles, 3 SLRs and 4 self-loading rifles, along with 26 magazines and over 1,700 live rounds. 2 people died and 20 others were injured after a drum exploded, triggering a fire at a textile mill in Gujarat's Jolwa village, Surat district on Monday. Fire officials confirmed 2 bodies were recovered and the blaze is now under control. Superintendent of Police Rajesh Gadhia said the fire at Santosh Cloth Mill has mostly been contained, with multiple fire tenders and agencies responding at the scene. And still to come in this edition of DD India Live. Guyana awaits results after high-stakes election amid oil wealth disputes and past tensions. Bolsonaro faces final phase of coup trial amid explosive allegations and global scrutiny. And Osaka Suns go off in New York as Swiatek de Minor cruise into semi-finals.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout ho gaya.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Lipakshi Kuran, and moving on, a humanitarian crisis is unfolding in Afghanistan, where a devastating earthquake claimed over 800 lives and left thousands injured on Monday. Entire villages lie in ruins, and survivors are pleading for urgent help. As rescue efforts intensify, India stepped forward with swift and substantial aid, reaffirming its commitment to regional solidarity under its Neighbourhood First policy. DD India's Rahul Upadhyay brings us more.
A massive rescue operation is underway in Afghanistan after a powerful 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck just before midnight, collapsing homes onto sleeping families in the remote mountainous Kunar province in the eastern part of the country. A Taliban government on Monday said that the death toll has surpassed 800 with thousands injured. The tremors were felt as far as Kabul and Islamabad, and the US Geological Survey reports at least 5 aftershocks throughout the night. We have a report of 800 killed in Kunar. 2,500 people have been injured. The affected areas are Nurgal district, Swakir district, Batapur district, Manogi district, Shapadar district and other regions. The team have reached the Mazadar village in Nurgal district, but the details of rescue operation have not been shared with us yet. They could increase the toll. In the aftermath, scenes of devastation are emerging from villages like Mazar Dana in Nurgal district. Survivors, many of them children and elderly, remain trapped beneath the rubble.
This is Mazar Dara in Nurgal district. The entire village was destroyed. Children and elders are trapped under the rubble. We need urgent help. Our children, women, elders and the dead remain buried beneath the debris.
India was amongst the first to respond. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed deep condolence and sorrow over the tragedy, stating, "Deeply saddened by the loss of lives due to earthquake in Afghanistan. Our thoughts and prayers are with the bereaved families in this difficult hour, and we wish a speedy recovery to the injured. India stands ready to provide all possible humanitarian aid and relief to those affected." Under its Neighbourhood First policy, India was quick to dispatch 1,000 family tents to Kabul to provide emergency shelter. Additionally, 15 tons of food supplies are being transported by the Indian mission from Kabul to the severely affected Kunar province. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar spoke with Afghan Foreign Minister Maulvi Amir Khan Muttaqi, reaffirming India's solidarity and pledging further assistance. As Afghanistan reels from one of its deadliest natural disasters in recent years, India's timely support underscores its enduring commitment to regional cooperation and humanitarian values. Rahul Upadhyay's report for DD India.
Well, Britain too has set out emergency funding support for those affected by earthquakes in Afghanistan. Britain's $1.35 million assistance will be split between the UN Population Fund and the International Red Cross to deliver critical healthcare and emergency supplies to Afghans in the most affected regions. By channeling it through its partners, the UK government aims to ensure that the aid reach those in need instead of the Taliban administration. Foreign Minister David Lammy in a statement said the UK remains committed to the people of Afghanistan, and this emergency funding will help our partners to deliver critical healthcare and emergency supplies to the most hard hit. Well, tensions between the United States and Venezuela have escalated in recent weeks due to a significant U.S. naval buildup in the southern Caribbean and surrounding waters. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro accused the U.S. of using its naval deployment in the Caribbean to pursue regime change. White Venezuelan officials claim the buildup is a threat intended to justify potential intervention.
Humano, si tú le preguntaras a Nico, o sea, a mí, Nico, ¿qué mensaje le mandas tú al señor Donald Trump, que es presidente de Estados Unidos? Que busque la paz y en nosotros conseguirá siempre una mano amiga para la paz, con desarrollo, con independencia, con dignidad y respetando, no buscando un cambio de régimen. Presidente Donald Trump, la búsqueda de cambios de régimen está agotado. y está fracasado como política en el mundo.
Well, U.S. officials stated that the operation targets threats from Latin American drug cartels, aligning with President Trump's broader agenda to combat drug trafficking, curb migration and strengthen border security. And moving on, Brazil's former president, Jair Bolsonaro, facing charges of plotting a coup to retain power after losing the 2022 election, is set to begin closing arguments on Tuesday. Bolsonaro faces accusations of plotting to poison President Lula, his running mate, and assassinate Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes, who oversaw the 2022 election and now leads the coup case. The trial has gained international attention, with U.S. President Donald Trump denouncing it as a witch hunt. Bolsonaro has denied making any attempt to overthrow Brazil's democracy, but admits attending meetings to challenge the 2022 election and its under house arrest in Brasilia. And tens of thousands of protesters silently marched in Belgrade on Monday to commemorate the deaths of 16 people dying in the roof collapse of a newly renovated railway station. Protesters assembled in front of Belgrade's old railway station, each holding a white rose as the names of the victims were read aloud. Protests were held in several other towns, including Novi Sad, Kragujevac and Aleksinac. Protesters have blamed corruption for the Novi Sad railway station disaster and are demanding early elections in hopes of ousting President Alexander Vučić and his party. Well, polls have closed in Guyana's general election, where voters cast ballots on Monday to choose 65 members of parliament and a president. The Elections Commission plans to deliver results by Wednesday. President Irfan Ali, in office since 2020, is seeking re-election, representing the People's Progressive Party. Before the election, no transparent polling was available, but PPP supporters were hopeful of retaining power. Meanwhile, opposition parties gained support by criticizing the PPP for allegedly unfairly distributing oil earnings. Guyana's 2020 election was marred by a 5-month standoff over vote counting. An American screen legend and star of Alfred Hitchcock's 1958 classic Vertigo, Kim Novak, was honored with the Golden Lion of Lifetime Achievement at the Venice Film Festival on Monday. The retired and reclusive actress and painter received a standing ovation at the festival's Palazzo del Cinema before being presented with the award by Mexican filmmaker Guillermo del Toro. Novak said she was speechless and expressed her gratitude by saying she wanted to thank all the gods up there for receiving the honor at this stage in her life. Best known for her iconic role as Madeline Elster in Vertigo, Novak also starred in Picnic, Bell Book and Candle and Kiss Me, Stupid. Over the course of her career, she has received 2 Golden Globe Awards and was previously honored with an honorary Golden Bear at the Berlin Film Festival in 1997. And in sports, in the Men's Hockey Asia Cup, Team India defeated Kazakhstan in a convincing fashion in their final Pool A game in Rajgir, Bihar. India won by a dominant scoreline of 15-0, with as many as 3 players scoring a hat-trick. Abhishek, Sukhjit Singh and Jugraj Singh scored hat-tricks, while captain Harmanpreet Singh, Amit Rohidas, Sanjay Dilpreet Singh scored 1 goal each. India finished the league stage at the top of the points table in Pool A with 9 points from 3 games. Top 2 teams from both the pools advanced to the Super Fours. India and China have qualified from Pool A, while Korea and Malaysia have qualified from Pool B. And updates from the US Open 2025 round of 16. Naomi Osaka produced a stunning performance to eliminate home favorite Coco Gauff in the last 16th stage. The Japanese star powered past 3rd seed Gauff 6-3, 6-2 in a highly anticipated showdown in New York. Osaka will play 11th seed Carolina Muchova in Wednesday's quarter-finals. In other women's single action, Iga Swiatek brushed off Ekaterina Alexandrova in straight sets to extend her Grand Slam winning streak to 11 matches. Swiatek has reached the last 8 or better at all 4 majors in a season for the first time and is chasing her 7th Grand Slam. In men's singles, Alex de Minaur sealed a quarter-final spot with an easy win over Swiss qualifier Leandro Riedi. Informed de Minaur will be looking for a change in fortunes as he's never made it past the last 8 stage. He will face Felix Auger LSM in the quarter-finals. And 3-time European heavyweight champion boxer Joe Bugner, who fought Muhammad Ali in a world title bout, has died at the age of 75. The British Boxing Board of Control released a statement which said that the boxer passed away at his care home in Brisbane, Australia. Bugner's professional boxing career spanned 32 years and 83 bouts, of which he won 69, including 41 by knockout. He turned professional in 1967 and won the European, British and Commonwealth titles. He fought Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier in back-to-back fights in 1973. Bugner moved to Australia in the 1980s and won the Australian heavyweight title in 1995 before retiring in 1999. All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Lipakshi Khurana from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.